Hi folks, Anders here, and it's been a while since my last video, especially on Project Longhouse. Variety of reasons, and I'll go through them throughout the video. But yeah, thought I'd do an update. I've been picking up quite a bit of Parkside stuff, so I thought I'd show you what I've picked up recently. Yeah, so been busy. Physically, we've been trading at festivals. I've mentioned this before. I run a business called Anders Crafts. If you don't follow me on Facebook, I'll post a link below. See if I can put you down there. Yep. And yeah, so for the past 3 weekends we have been away. First weekend we were in Thornborough near North Yorkshire, and then 2 weekends ago we were in Northampton at Gathering of the Kings, which is a Viking event, and last weekend we were at Evesham Medieval Market. So before that I was trying to get stock made, get the van ready. Now called Herbie again. We ummed and ahed. Was going to be Hetty, now it's Herbie. Yeah, getting that sorted through the MOT, which was the last video I posted. Unfortunately, Herbie's currently off the road because driving back from Northampton 2 weekends ago, the brakes kind of stopped working. There was always a bit of a clunk with the brakes, and I just thought there was like an airlock or something like that. But they always worked absolutely fine, and nothing was showed up on the MOT. Driving back from Northampton, 70 odd miles, mostly fine for the first 65, and then got off a motorway and brakes were having to pump the brake. Yeah, managed to limp home thankfully, but the brakes are shot, so Herbie is currently in the garage. Thankfully I found a garage literally half a mile from where he's stored, where I could drive it down very slowly, without any kind of brakes. The brakes worked, but you really had to pump them. The handbrake still worked, so limped it down. It's in the garage at the moment and waiting for them to get back to me with parts and stuff, and probably a very expensive fix, which is unfortunate, but such is life when you're dealing with a 34-year-old motorhome. Aside from that, like driving to events and stuff, been absolutely lovely. Event wise, trading has been slow this year, very slow. It's been a hard few months, and talking to all of my trader friends and stuff like that, they're experiencing the same. People are tightening their purse strings, which is difficult when you're a creator and you want to get your art out there like I do. I can show you some in a bit. Yeah, it's just been difficult, but you know, muddling on. Aside from that, my health has not been great. My mental health especially not. I had a complete breakdown a week ago, and just wanted to literally burn everything to the ground, including the longhouse. So yeah, after the break-in, which was what, 2-3 months ago now, long story short, the insurance did not pay out. Pissed off about it, I am very much so. They gave a multitude of reasons. Every time we would get back to them, they would come back with something else. They were saying that the property wasn't secure properly, which it was padlocked, but because the fence was damaged between us and next door, they were saying that that was our responsibility to make sure it's secure, which yes it was, but also we had told the landlord about it multiple times. They were saying that because a load of my tech stuff was stolen, my video games and things like that I was running a online video gaming business, which I don't. Most of the stock is my personal collection and from my son's gaming cafe that closed down over a year ago, so that was all here. And yeah, so yeah, long story short, they wouldn't pay out. I could have fought it, but I was just like, do you know what, I need to let go. It's unfortunate they stole a lot of my dad's tools, I stole a lot of my tools, they stole a lot of video game equipment. To be fair, a lot of the old consoles and stuff were in states of repair, or, you know, not that great. Do you know what, it is what it is. I've managed to replace pretty much all of the tools now, and then some. Car boots are amazing, charity shops are useful, friends have been brilliant, Facebook Marketplace has been good as well. So yeah, so I've managed to replace most of the tools now. Bygones, it's done. The shed is ridiculously secure now. I have multiple cameras on the outside, facing onto the garden, facing onto the nature reserve at the back, with good points of view from everywhere, so there is nowhere for anybody to hide. The fence is all secure. I've got barbed wire there. I've got blah 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 blah. Yeah, there is an alarm on the shed. It is multi-padlocked. There are bars on the windows. There are cameras hidden inside the shed in case anybody bypasses the cameras that are outside the shed. You know, we are secure as I can be. Let's face it, if somebody wants to get in, they will get in, and there is nothing I can do about it. But at least I put deterrents in place to try and stop that in the future. So, yeah, it sucks that the insurance wouldn't pay out, but again, bygones, I can't do anything about it now. I'm just going to let it go. So yeah, but on the plus side, I've been buying new tools, and I've been getting some fun stuff from Parkside, and I thought I'd go through what I've picked up. Some is from Parkside. Most of it is from Parkside. Some of it is from car boots and things like that, which I've been quite fortunate at picking up Parkside stuff. I still look for Parkside stuff on car boots because I love the universal battery system. I've picked up a strimmer which I didn't need because it was a £5 and it came with one of the batteries, and it was like a £5 for a battery, so I can't really complain. So yeah, so I'll go through what I've got. First up, I have a digital caliper. These things are awesome. I think this was £8 off the car boot. They're just ridiculously useful just for measuring things. My vape is that 30mm, 30.33mm. Yeah, they're just really, really useful. That was very, very useful with the motorhome because one of the bolts came loose on the air pump, and I needed to get an exact same one because it's an old van, it's Imperial, blah blah blah. So yeah, really, really useful. In there at the moment, they're doing tools and stuff like that, £2.99 each, or 2 for a £5. So I picked up a adjustable wrench because they're always useful, and I picked up a lever hole punch because they're always useful. I've got some scissors. Yeah, I've got lots and lots of leather at the moment because I've been sorting through my stash, because one of the things I sell at events is leather bundles, thonging and leather belt pieces and stuff like that for people to work with. So bear with me, I will just grab a piece of leather and see if this works. Aha. One very thick piece of leather. Just got something in it. I get bundles, like bags of leather, which I have to process and sort and resell, but people always buy it. So let's see. This is very, very thick graded leather, so I'm not sure if it's going to go through. We'll give it a go. Oh. Give it a wiggle. Almost. And through. Yeah. It's a lever punch. It's got all the different settings on it like you would with a normal lever punch. They're always useful. Useful for when you're out and about and need to put an extra hole in a belt or something like that. I'm starting to make some little leather pouches and bags for some of my stock, so useful for that. But yeah, lever punch. £2.50. Well, £2.99 if you buy it on no. Next. I think these were like £1.99 or £2.99. An angle bit holder with bit set, so if you need to get into a very tight corner with your electrical manual screwdriver or ratchet one, yeah, again, cheap as anything, but always useful. Little multi-tool on a keyring set. This is a screwdriver and socket set one. They did ones with Allen keys, with hex keys. This is just one that's got that, but you've got a couple of little oh, that's neat, look at that, just pops out like that. What sizes are they? Is there a 10mm? There is a 10mm. Wow. So that just pops out from there, and then that one, and you've got a tiny little wrench. How useful. Well, not wrench, socket. Yeah, again, this was £2.99 I think, something like that, £1.99 even, but brilliant little thing. Just check I'm still recording. Yes, I am. Excellent. These were £1.99 a pack, sandpaper rolls. Again, I do a lot of woodworking, and I need them for finishing and stuff like that. So I've got 180 grit and I got 80 grit, obviously for coarse sanding and smoother sanding. It's sandpaper. I don't need to demonstrate what sandpaper does. The coarser the grit, the more material it takes off. But I will show you stuff I've been working on. So yeah, so I am a digital artist. I draw on a computer, on a tablet. My computer that got stolen, my laptop that got stolen, but I've just bought another tablet, which is absolutely brilliant, Samsung one, which I keep in the house, not in here. And that's one thing I've changed as well, is most of my expensive electronic stuff is now kept in the house rather than here. But I'm a digital artist. My degree is in graphic design. I've been in photography. I was a lecturer of digital multimedia for 5 years. I taught photography, graphics in my past life. If you know me from a past life, I was a fashion photographer and worked for magazines like Vogue and Mary Claire and had lots of publications behind my name. But yeah, I'm a creator. Obviously I create content for YouTube as well, but I do stuff like this. So as you can see, it's a little rabbity thing. The wood that I use is reclaimed wood, so this is reclaimed teak, which was a bookcase, and I use a laser engraver to engrave it onto wood for me, and then finish it with stain, and then sand all the edges with sandpaper and such like that, so they're all finished. Yeah, I do lots and lots of work. If you want to see more of my stuff, again, Anders Crafts on Facebook and Instagram, and you can have a look. Another one here. Two little foxes. My style is kind of, I guess, lino print-esque. That's where, I don't know, it's my art style, that's what I do, that's what I like doing. I always do stuff in black and white because I want to laser engrave it into stuff like this. And yeah, and I've got a new laser engraver as well. I've got a Sculpfun S20 Pro. Another story behind that. Let's get some other pieces of my work as well. You can have a look. This is all stuff that's currently kind of work in progressy stuff. When I first started doing laser engraving, I did use stock images off Etsy and stuff like that, making sure that I was able and legal to use them. I see a lot of laser engraved folks who just download, and pyrographers who just download stuff off the internet, and it's all copyrighted and stuff like that. But obviously with a background in media, I try to keep to the law. So that was a stock one. That was a stock one. These are kind of old stock, which I'm now restickering and reducing because I'm doing more stuff. That's one of my designs, Mr. Squirrel. That's one that kind of failed because I don't know if you can see. It was a very light burn, so you can barely see the design on it. But the good thing is, it's wood. I can sand it back and reuse it. Bit of advertising. I did a test board with my businessy card information on, which I have now done onto a big piece, which is what I use for stalls and things, laser engraving. But yeah, yeah. So that's one thing I do. But anyway, back onto Parkside stuff. These, bargain, absolute bargain. My friend Jeremy, who I've talked about in lots of videos, told me about they had the Japanese pull saws back in stock. I went straight to my local Lidl. They had sold out instantly, which I was very annoyed about. But by chance I went to another Lidl, whoops, and was just looking around. I wasn't looking for pull saws, but they had one, and it was also 20% off. So instead of it being $4.99, it was $3.99. It's the last one, but definitely worth it. I have a single bladed one of these. Not sure how well this one's going to be because it's got a attachable handle to it, I guess, so you can turn it round. But I've got more of a traditional Japanese pull saw, and they are absolutely brilliant once you get used to them, because obviously with a normal saw it cuts on the push. A pull saw does what it says, it cuts on the pull, so it's kind of reverse order. It takes you a bit to get used to it. Once you do, it's good. So there we go, Parkside. And again, this is a double bladed one, so on the top there you've got very coarse blades. Let's just get the blade guard back on, which will inevitably get lost. Come on, get. Yeah, not happening. There we go. Ow. And then a finer blade on that side there. And basically, I'm assuming all you do is push it in. Just push a button. Yes, push a button. Clip. Done. Zzz. And then if you want to release it, it's a bit stiff. Put it in the other way. To use the other blade. Push in and clip. There you go. Not sure how it's going to be with a plasticky handle. It's got a nice rubber grip to it. If I just quickly go and grab my other pull saw, you can see the difference. So this is my other one. This is the Parkside one. This is a nice wooden handle and rope on it, and that I absolutely love. But I'll give that one a go. This is quite a soft blade on that, whereas that's got a bit of coarse on it. So yeah, there was that. Whole saw set. Again, it's $1.99 or $2.99. Useful things to have. I don't have a hole saw. If I want to cut holes in things that are bigger than whatever, useful. Quid. And yeah, this I noticed the other week that they are doing oils for decking and stuff like that. They've got different ones. They've got teak. They've got Douglas fir. They've got clear oils and stuff like that. I went to go and get some a week later, and they'd mostly sold out. Well, they had sold out. I was like, oh dear. But I did manage to get one, and again, that was reduced from $9.99 down to $7.99. That is Douglas fir. It's specifically designed for Douglas fir, so pines and stuff like that. But again, for when I'm doing wood staining and stuff like that, it's useful and it is cheap compared to other places. I had to get some, what do you call it, boiled linseed oil the other day, and went everywhere. Range don't have it anymore, B&M don't have it anymore, Wilko has now gone, which is tragic. I managed to get some from one little local hardware store, and it was like £4 for a tiny 250ml bottle. So that is a litre, no, 2.5 litres for £8. Bargain. I'll try it at some point and see how it gets going. And then the other thing, I had to get these in the bargain bin. Had to. They are some Parkside Crocs. Would you call them Crocs? Well, obviously not Crocs, because Crocs are a branded thing. Croquettes. What are they actually called? Peel the sticker off. What does Parkside call them? They don't. They're just, yeah. These were reduced down 50% off from $5.99 to $2.99. It was the last pair. They're in my size 11. I was like, do you know what? Gotta have them. So, let's see if they fit. Yeah. Parkside. They'd also got Parkside pants and hats and stuff like that, and my partner was like, do not buy them, and I was like, but I want to. So yeah. And then the final thing that I picked up, it's not the final thing, I picked up loads of stuff, but the final thing I'm going to show for this video is I had a reciprocating saw, Parkside one again, just to check it's still recording. Yes. Yeah. This was reduced down from $29.99 down to $14.99. It's one of the 20 volt system ones. It doesn't come with a battery. I've got lots of the batteries now because I've been picking them up. Yeah. And yeah, I thought, do you know what, for 15 quid you can't go wrong. I've got jigsaw, I've got table saw, I've got Parkside mini chainsaw, but I just thought 15 quid, do you know what? We'll give it a go. So let's open it up. Just tilt you down a bit that way. You can see better. And ta-da! Look, it's just shiny. So you've got a branch holder attachment thing as well. Probably check the instructions on how to do it. It clips on somehow Who cares? I don't need it. Let's just try it with the battery anyway. So I've got 4 amp one just charged, and basically you clip it in. There you go. Comes with one blade. Let's turn it back up again. Oh, my little tripod is doing things. Come on, come on. Yeah, it comes with one single blade, but that looks like the kind of ones that you can get for the reciprocating saws and stuff as well. And it literally just slots in. Twist locks. Yeah, there we go. Unlock. Slide in. Lock in place. Nice and tight. Yeah, works. Whew, smells a bit not so plastic and rubber. I know, Rob, weekend chef, there's rubber on these. Yeah, it's got a bit of a spark in it. Look at that, you see. But 15 quid for a quick saw if I want to make quick cuts. Because what I have been doing recently, because I obviously do a lot of Viking, pagan, witchy, medieval events and stuff like that, is I've been making some stargazer chairs. People sometimes call them Viking stargazer chairs. The origin of them is dubious as to whether it's Viking or not. The earliest kind of pictorial reference of them is their African birthing chairs, but the Vikings seem to like them, and because I've got a ridiculous amount of wood, I've been making some. And I have some here at the moment, which I'm using paint stripper on because I was trying it instead of my planer, which is not going well. And then I have quite a few blanks here as well. These are all solid cedar, red cedar, which I got fully reclaimed. And yeah, and there's some more that I've been working on as well, which are larger ones out of pine, and these are the finished ones. So if I just kind of, you know, I'll put it down. They basically just go together. That's like that. Sounds a bit stiff. Try the other way. Yes.
Do you have one of the fingers?
Sorry, my stepdaughter wanted me for something. Anyway, this is what I've been making. Very simple little chairs. 2 planks, cut a hole in the middle, cut a slot in one. And they look quite good. And I think people like them because I made 2 for the last Viking event I was at, Gathering of the Kings, and one of them sold one day, and then the next morning the person who bought the first one came back and said, "Hey, can I have the other one please?" I was like, "Sure." So yeah, so I'm making some more because in I think 3-4 weeks time I'm at Wirral Viking Festival, so I figure I will make some more of them, which is what I'm doing. So yeah, bit of a eclectic mix of stuff that's been happening in the world of Anders. I am going to try and be a bit more regular with videos. Now I'm a little bit more organised. Let's put it like this, up until 2 days ago there was not a floor in here. There currently is. It's currently a bit messy still, but there was no floor in here whatsoever. Because I've been working away most weekends, I've been literally coming back from events and sleeping for a couple of days, and then packing up the van again and going away again with my partner. And I've been a bit knackered. This weekend we have a weekend off, hurrah! So it's given me a chance to kind of recoup. We are at another event next weekend, which is a biker rally in Derby called Perverts in Leather, but that's one my partner is just trading at, with all of her clothing-y stuff. So yeah, so I'm not taking any stock for that or anything, and because the motorhome is out of action, we've got to do a festival in 2 cars and drive in each day and drive back each day, but because it's only Derby, it's local, it's not too bad. So yeah, quick update, well, longish update because I've been waffling on what's happening in the world of Anders. Again, I'm going to try and do a few more videos. I've got some ideas for some projects I want to work on. I'm going to do some demo-y stuff on my laser engraver and my process working on that. I'm going to do a demo on pewter casting and how I do that. There'll be another update on the motorhome soon because I've been working on that as well. But it's all been go, and unfortunately when you are trying to do a bazillion and one things, certain things have to be put to one side, and doing YouTubey stuff and video updates has been one of those things I've had to put to one side. But hopefully I will be back doing more. Anyway, that's this video done. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one, which hopefully won't be another 2 months. Bye for now.